Hi, welcome to Ailsa Family Learning Centre. My name is Susan and I'm the head of Ailsa Family Learning Centre, where you will be attending quite soon. I want to welcome you all to the nursery. I know it's been a really strange start to your wee one's introduction to nursery. We hope to get to know you really well over the next wee while and hope that your child's experience at nursery is really positive. Obviously we understand that children have had a really different experience over the last 18 months, been able to get out and about and mix with other children, but we hope moving forward that with things easing a wee bit, that your wee one will have great fun at nursery, and we're really looking forward to getting to know you as a family. I wanted just to, because we've not been able to have in-person meetings with all of our new families and children, I wanted just to take this opportunity to give you a wee bit of information. We have sent out your handbook and lots of different information over the last few weeks, which we hope that you have enjoyed looking at, and your wee ones had a wee chance to have a wee look at some of the videos. Unfortunately, we've not been able to let you have anybody inside the building or have face-to-face meetings, so we hope that these videos that we've sent out have been a kind of useful way to get to see parts of the nursery without actually physically being here in person. I want to just give you a wee update and just give you some information just before your wee one is due to start nursery. We would normally have welcome meetings for our families and pass on lots of information, but we've been having to do that in lots of different ways, which is the reason for me sending out a video. So hopefully this will give you a wee bit of information just before your wee one starts. If there is anything at all that you would like more information on, or there's anything that's unclear to you, please don't hesitate to give us a wee phone and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions. So we obviously have current guidance that's still in place, although things have eased quite significantly over the last couple of weeks or so. As a nursery, we still have some of the guidance in place. We just want to make sure that we are keeping everybody as safe as possible. I'm sure you can appreciate that, and you know, hopefully kind of keep us, help us to keep everybody safe. With having lots of children and adults congregating in the one place, you know, we just want to make sure that everybody is clear with the kind of safety measures that we're putting in place. We do have a one-way system, and we do have different drop-offs for the children. So we are doing our drop-offs. We're very lucky with the nursery that we have different outdoor spaces that we can use as drop-off and pick-up areas for the children. So you will have had information about which room that your wee one is coming to, and that information is also up in the outdoor space. So we will have signs up, and there will be myself and the janitor and other members of the Ailsa team out and about in the car park and in the path areas over the next few weeks, just kind of making sure that everybody knows where they're going, and you know, if you've got any questions at all, then please don't hesitate to ask somebody. So just to kind of go over some of the guidance that we do have, just to make sure that everybody is as safe as possible. Our one-way systems are in place just to kind of try and limit that contact that we have with, we've got almost 200 families that use the nursery, so it can get pretty busy. We still have some sort of physical distancing, so if we can just ask that you help us to you know, kind of follow that guidance, would be really useful. So we're kind of saying, you know, between 1 metre and 2 metres just now, that we've not got, you know, large amounts of adults kind of being quite close together. We ask that you still wear a face covering when you're coming to drop off and pick up your children. The staff within the nursery, although they don't wear a face covering when they're working with the children, when they're coming into contact with other adults, such as yourself, when you're dropping off your wee one or picking them up, they will wear a face covering. Just about keeping everybody safe as possible. Our car park, unfortunately, is only in use for staff cars, and for those of you that have a blue badge and would be using our disabled spaces. So we have two at the very front of the car park. If we could ask that if you are entitled to use those spaces and that you are getting out of the car to drop off or pick up a wee one, if you can possibly reverse into the spaces, it just makes it easier for driving out. We do use our car park as part of our one-way system, so it just means that you're not reversing into pedestrians walking through the car park, so that would be really helpful. If you do have an exemption for wearing a face covering, then could you please just let the staff know. Obviously we don't want to upset anybody by continually asking you to wear a face covering if you have that exemption, and that's absolutely not a problem. If you have that exemption, just let us know. For children settling in, you will have been given a start date and time to bring your wee one. It would be really helpful if you can kind of try and keep to those times that you've been given, and ideally only one, no more than two adults coming down. I know it's exciting, you know, if you've maybe got grandparents or other family members that want to come and see them on their first day at nursery, and you know that's a great experience. But just unfortunately we're having to limit the amount of adults that we've got coming into the nursery grounds at the moment. So I'm really sorry about that. But they can maybe come and visit them before they come to nursery, would be lovely. So as I say, ideally one, but certainly no more than two adults to come down with your wee one in the first session. The session will be quite short to start with. Obviously they've not had a chance to come in and visit. They might have had an opportunity to come down and look around our outdoor spaces when you've been dropping things off, and that's been lovely to see some of you. So on the first day it will just be a short session, just about an hour and a half or so. We will try to do it, hopefully we'll pray for good weather, and we'll be in our outdoor space, which we're very fortunate to have. And you'll get a wee chance to meet your child's key worker, and they'll get a chance to you know, have some conversations with yourself. If your wee one is okay, then you know we might just say to you if you want to just leave them with us and come back and pick them up you know, within that hour and a half. That would be great. If your wee one does need you to stay with them, again that's not a problem at all. You're very welcome to stay with them, ideally in our outside space, but if the weather's not that great, then you know we can have you inside. Again, we will ask you just to keep your face covering on, and just kind of limit the areas in the playroom that you go to. Some of the staff, we work a shift rota because we are open 8 o'clock till 6. The staff do work on a rota basis, so some staff are in early in the morning and some staff start a wee bit later in the morning and are here till the end of the day. So if you don't see your wee one's key worker, please don't worry. We will be able to have a chance for you to catch up with them. It's just that they may be on the kind of opposite shift to when your wee one is around, but they will get a chance to see them at some point through the day. I have a wee list here that I'm kind of reading from just to make sure that I don't miss anything out. So we will, on the first session, it will be that shorter time. From then, yourself and your wee one's key worker will work out how the settling in is going to go. Every child is different, and every child settles in and they've had different experiences from out with nursery, so they will settle in at their own pace. And we want to make sure that we're giving them that time to settle in and to get that really good experience that they should be getting at nursery. So we might just build up their time gradually. 4 hours and 45 is a long time for them to be away from their parents, especially, as I say, over the last 18 months if maybe haven't had a lot of contact with other adults. So we will increase the session times on a gradual basis. Certainly if wee ones are okay, we'll build up that time pretty quickly. Please don't worry if your wee one is a wee bit more reluctant or a wee bit more anxious about coming to nursery. That's absolutely natural, and you know we have the staff within the nursery have lots and lots of experience in supporting children coming into nursery. and they've got lots of experience in supporting their parents when they're leaving their wee ones as well, because obviously you know, you might be anxious as a parent leaving your wee one for maybe the first time, and that's absolutely natural. So please don't worry about that, and you know, if you are anxious at all, your key worker will support that. If we can ask you to bring a change of clothing for your wee one, and if they're still in nappies or pull-ups, if you can bring some of them with them and some wipes. If you just bring them in a plastic bag, we've got wee nursery bags in the cloakroom area for each child, and we'll be able to put their changes in there. We will let you know if they need additional clothing, or they're running out of nappies or wipes or pull-ups or whatever, and you can just replenish them. It is quite important that we've got a change of clothes for the children, and if you've got a wee pair of wellies for them that you're quite happy to leave at nursery, again, that's ideal. If you don't have, don't worry, because we do have spare wellies that, you know, we've accumulated over the years, so please don't worry if you don't have wellies that you can leave for your wee one. But it just means that they've got their own clothes if they have a wee accident, or they maybe spill their milk or something on themselves. If at any time you want to have a wee chat with your child's key worker, we can appreciate that, you know, sometimes you might want to talk in private to them if you've maybe got information to pass on, or you know, you want to pass on, or you maybe have you're quite anxious about something, so you can absolutely make an arrangement to come and speak to them in private. It's very busy at drop off and pick up time, so that's maybe not an ideal time you know, to have those conversations, and it can be quite busy at that time, so we can absolutely make an arrangement. Just give us a wee phone, or ask your child's key worker if you can maybe come back a little bit earlier to pick them up, and that won't be a problem at all. We have over the last few weeks sent out enrolment forums and All About Me forums, so that just gives us really good information about your child, their interests, their routines, maybe things that they might be a wee bit anxious about or frightened about, and if they've got a particular favourite toy or TV programme that they like to watch. That's really useful information. So for those of you that have managed to hand that back in prior to your wee one starting, we really appreciate that, and your child's key worker has been looking at that over the holiday period, or over the last couple of days with their in-service, so they'll already know your wee one quite well before they start. For those of you that haven't managed to bring that down yet, if we can ask if you can bring that down, certainly on their first day, if not before they start, that would be really, really useful. We want to work in partnership with yourself as parents or carers of the wee one, so it's really good if you have got information to pass on to us, then you know that helps us build that bigger picture of your wee one, you know, before they come to nursery, or if there has been anything happening you know, within your household that you feel might impact on the wee one. I just want to kind of talk a wee bit about the session times for the nursery. If your wee one comes in the morning, their session time is from 8 o'clock until 12:45. Now, just because the session says it starts at 8 o'clock, please don't feel that you need to be here straight on 8 o'clock, especially if your wee one's not used to getting up earlier in the morning. It might take them a wee bit of time to build up to that, or if you've got older children that you want to drop off at school first, that is not a problem at all. We have children coming in, you know, from 8 o'clock. We've got some that come in a wee bit after that. We've got some that take their older brothers or sisters to school and then they come in. So, you know, it's not compulsory that children need to be here for 8 o'clock. What we do ask is that children are picked up on time. So although the session finishes at 1:45, we do ask if children can be away for just about 1:25. The staff within the playrooms only get half an hour for their lunch, so they have their lunch break between 1:45 and 1:15 when the afternoon children come in. So it's not very long that they get, and as well as having their lunch, they need to reorganise and clean all of the playroom and the resources both inside and out. So I'm sure you can appreciate that that's quite a task. And again, that's just around keeping children safe and stopping that kind of cross contamination, you know, between different groups of children. So we would really appreciate it if children could be away by 25 to 1 for the morning session, and if you're here just before for the afternoon session, if you're here just around the 1:15, certainly not too early, because you will need to stand way outdoors until the staff are finished their lunch break. And again, for the afternoon session, if we can ask if children are away and out of the building by 10 to 6. All staff finish at 6 o'clock, so they need to be out the door by 6 o'clock. And again, they have tidying up and reorganising to do before the morning session the next day. So that's really, really important. Again, if you want to speak to your child's key worker about anything, just arrange to come a little bit earlier, and that won't be a problem at all. Obviously, things are easing round about us, and restrictions have eased quite a wee bit, but we still need to be aware that COVID is still around us. So we're just being extra vigilant about just recognising signs and symptoms. We do ask that if your wee one is unwell or showing any of the symptoms of coronavirus, that they don't attend nursery, and you phone us just to let us know. There is information at the back of your handbook about when children should remain at home if they are ill. Certainly within a big busy playroom and outside, we don't have the facilities to look after children if they're unwell, and they really kind of probably just want to be at home and having a wee duvet day. So please follow the guidance within our handbook that we've sent out to you. Lots of the information that we would normally give over at our welcome meetings is included in the handbook. Now, you probably have realised that we use emails to give out lots of information, so we've been a wee bit more creative when we can't physically have these face-to-face discussions with our new parents and families. So we use emails, so please check your email box regularly, and we will obviously let you know if we're sending out more information by email. We also have a Twitter account, so those of you who use Twitter and would like to know a wee bit more about what's going on in the nursery, please feel free to follow us on Twitter as a private group. So I do need to add you into that. If you've got a Twitter name that's not quite your name, then please bear with us if I haven't added you on after a couple of days. Let your child's key worker know that you have asked to join our Twitter page, and I will make sure that I will add you on to that. We don't have anybody on our page that isn't that doesn't have anything to do with the nursery. We certainly do follow other nurseries and other relevant pages, but anybody who is following us on Twitter needs to be added on by myself. So it's a great way we post videos on there. We don't post any pictures of the children as yet, but certainly within the playroom, if there's experiences going on, or if the children have got an interest, then we will post that on our Twitter page. So to say, if you do use Twitter, then it's a good way of keeping up to date with what we're doing in the nursery. We also use our fence areas outdoors for putting posters up, information. So we'll just take a wee bit of time when you're dropping off or picking up your wee one, just to observe what's been put out. We're trying to again be creative, because we can't have lots of parents indoors. We're trying to be creative with what we do with our outdoor space. We do have a voluntary toy fund that you might have read a wee bit about within our handbook, and we use that for enhancing the learning that we do with the children within the nursery. We have a post box that's attached onto the fence, so it's just like a letter box that you would see, and if you want to put a donation in there, ideally a couple of pounds a week really helps us enhance the learning for the children, and helps us to buy snack for the children as well. It is voluntary, but as I say, it really does help us out. The toy fund box is emptied after each session, and it is taken in at the end of the night, so please don't worry if you're putting money into it. It will be safe to do that. Children will get lunch when they're at nursery, whether they come in the morning session or the afternoon session. So it is a hot lunch, and our menus again are displayed on the fence area. We will let you know if there are any changes to the menus. Again, if you've got a wee one who is maybe a wee bit more of a fussier eater, you will be able to see what is on offer for the children. They'll also get a snack while they're at nursery as well, and that normally entails toast or crackers, fresh fruit every day, and milk or water to drink. And again, we might do some baking activities helped out by our toy fund, or the children that come in earlier in the morning might have cereal. So there's lots of opportunities for the children to have something to eat while they're at nursery, even if they haven't eaten their lunch. We have a huge focus on outdoor learning within the nursery, so children are outdoors every day in all weathers. We do have waterproof suits for the children to wear, but again, as I was saying earlier, if they can provide a wee pair of wellies, then that really kind of helps us out. We want the children to enjoy our outdoor space. We're very lucky with our outdoor space that we have here, and we want them just to make sure that, you know, they're able to take part in all of the activities. So please don't put the best of clothes on your wee one when they're coming to nursery. We want them to get involved in everything that's going on, and you know, we really hope that they have the opportunity to get involved with everything that's going on, make new friendships that maybe they haven't had the opportunity to do over the last 18 months. So we're really looking forward to you coming to nursery. Again, if there's anything at all that you want to discuss, please don't hesitate to give me a wee phone at the nursery. If I'm not available, then Laura, who's our deputy, or Shannon or Kimberly, who are our lead practitioners, will be available to speak to you at any time. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to the start of term. It's always an exciting time, and you know, I can't wait to get to meet all of our new families and get to know your wee ones. So thank you very much. As I say, I'm really sorry that we're having to do it this way, but I hope you can appreciate the kind of restrictions that we've got, and trying to find other ways of communicating with yourself as parents. So hopefully we'll see you quite soon, and we'll be in touch with lots more information, I'm sure, over the next few weeks. Thank you, bye.